What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Titans Outlet podcast or show that I'm going to be starting. We're just going to talk a little bit about, Titans every week, what's going on with the teams, moves, and just, our personal opinions on what we think the team should do in terms of, direction, how we handle it, and stuff like that. So to start, we'll talk about the game that just happened, and that was the Titans versus Chiefs. Obviously, the fans who watched the game know that we lost that game in overtime. So we'll just get right into that and talk a little bit about it. I don't really place too much of this loss on Malik Willis. Obviously, second half performance wasn't the best, but the offense is having just so many issues. So far, quarterback and running back are the last two issues on the team, pretty much, on the entire team. So as you know, the first half offense looked great. We were running the ball efficiently. Malik had a couple really good passes. We were just moving the ball, and I feel like when the second half happened, I feel like the play calling changed. I feel like we got more conservative, more into a chew clock mode, which everybody knows that the theme this season has been the Titans' second half offense has been terrible. It has been really, really bad. So I think what's happening is if we have a lead at halftime, I feel like Todd Downing and the Titans' offense is going into chew clock mode to try to keep the lead and just get out of there. That's just what it seems like. It turns super conservative, and I don't know why. I don't know why we just can't try to put the pressure on teams in the second half. We all know why we're losing games. It's because the second half offense, the coaching staff should know, the players know, everybody knows the second half offense is to blame. It's been the theme the entire season. I've never seen a team before look that good on offense in the first half and then have the complete opposite in the second half. In my opinion, Todd Downing does need to be fired. I know that people aren't high on Frank Reich because he just got fired from the head coaching job from the Colts, but I really do think that he would be an improvement over Todd Downing. Honestly, I feel like almost anybody would. So if we did decide to fire Todd Downing and bring in Frank Reich as our offensive coordinator for the remainder of the season, I would be fine with that. And then if he does a really good job with our offense and turns it around in the second half, then I would be fine with keeping him long term. Because I feel like he is a solid offensive coach. I don't think he's head coach material. Because I feel like there are some guys, they are great in an offensive coordinator job, a defensive coordinator job, a position coach job, but they can't cut it as a head coach. And I think Frank Reich is one of those guys. I feel like he could be a really, really good coordinator somewhere. And either a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. I feel like this offense, the wide receivers core is really, really bad. Now we do get Treylon Burks back, hopefully this week or next week. He got put on the designated to return to practice list today. And then Kyle Phillips, I believe, will be back in a week or two. And then Racey McMath is available as well. Now, Phillips is a good route runner, and he can get open. I think Burks is going to be really, really good. He's physical, he's tall, he's strong, he can catch really well. I feel like he's going to have a big impact in our offense. And then McMath, he's just a speedster. So he can take the top off of defenses, and I don't think he's had any catching issues. So if those three receivers could make our active roster, and please get Cody Hollister off of the active roster and Chris Conley off of the active roster, that would be fantastic. If we could run it the rest of the season with Burks, Woods, Phillips, McMath, and Westbrook-Ikhine, I'm fine with that. Although I do think we need to make a big move for Odell Beckham. I don't think he'd come to Tennessee, but if there's any shot, I think we need to try. And then I honestly would give a couple receivers that are free agents currently a call, like T.Y. Hilton, because I feel like, give him a workout, see if he's still able to play. And honestly, he can't be worse than Cody Hollister is my whole point. I really don't want Hollister or Jeff Swaim on the team going forward. I don't think that they're. I think they're overrated as blockers, and I don't think they help our offense at all. And I actually think they're a detriment to our offense. But yeah, no, our defense looked phenomenal against the Chiefs, I feel like, especially in the first half. Now, once Bud Dupree got hurt, that's when Mahomes started being able to run the ball a lot. And I think that him getting hurt played a big part, and Dupree getting hurt played a big part in us losing. I feel like he was setting the edge, making sure Mahomes stayed contained. And I feel like once he went down, our presence of keeping Mahomes in the pocket declined severely. But other than that, our defense did play very well. I mean, you held pretty much the best offense in the league to, what was it? 20. I mean, in regulation, I believe it was 20 points in regulation. Let me double check that real quick. Because I know we lost by 3. I don't really remember the final score off the top of my head. It's been a long day. But, let's see here. Yeah, it was 17 points in regulation. We held the Chiefs to 17 points in 4 quarters. 20 in 5 quarters. So I feel like, that's a win for our defense. I feel like Christian Fulton has been great. David Long has been great. Obviously, our defensive line has been really good. I feel like the duo of Simmons and Autry is one of the best duos in the league for when it comes to defensive fronts. And then on top of that, Tierra Tart has been really, really good. But we'll just look some stats up over the season, and we'll talk about the upcoming Broncos game this weekend. I do feel like no matter who we put out there at quarterback, we do beat the Broncos. I think it's a 50-50 chance that Tannehill plays. If Tannehill does miss this game, I'm 99% certain he will play the following week. And I believe we play, I want to say, the Packers next after the Broncos. So, for the season so far, obviously, I think some people have seen Derrick Henry is now in the lead for rushing yards. I think he's in second for TDs. I'm hoping he goes off for the rest of the season. Now, I did see something to where it was like, if Derrick Henry averages what teams are giving up in rushing yards per game for each team we play, he will hit 2,000 yards. I believe he needs to average, it's like 115 or 120 yards a game for the rest of the season. And we play the Texans again. We play a lot of bad run defenses, which is good. We have the third easiest strength of schedule from defenses against the run for the rest of the season. I feel like another thing, too, that I want to mention is, I don't know why, but Dontrell Hilliard has been really solid this year. Why? And he's also a good receiving threat. So when we're having issues with our receivers getting open, like Cody Hollister on third down, why not play Hilliard out there? Because, I mean, he's fast. I mean, and he can at least, blow by people at the very least. Like, he's faster than most DBs. So, and on top of that, he's just a good receiving threat. So, I feel like, on third and longs and stuff like that, and with our receiving core, how it's been, why not just line Hilliard up at wide receiver, like in the slot, since Phillips and stuff is out? Like, why not do that? I still think Robert Woods is a solid receiver, even though his production hasn't been that great. But I just honestly think that's part of our offense. All of our receivers are having trouble getting open and separating, and I think it's a mix between our receiving core being bad and then our offensive play calling. I think Todd Downing is the biggest detriment to the Titans' season this year. But another thing is on third downs, I don't know why we don't keep Henry in. Yes, I get it. He's not the best receiving back in the world. But you can set him, like, we run the ball or throw screens on third down a lot anyways. So why not just have Henry out there to make a play? Like, if we're going to run the ball anyways, or if we're going to throw a running back screen anyways, Derrick Henry is the best chance of making a play on our entire team. I don't care if he's a good receiving threat or not. We need to start playing him on third downs. I think I think he can catch and do stuff too. I've seen him. Yes, he's dropped some balls, but he can do it too. It's not like he's horrible. I mean, he's tied for third in receiving yards on our team. I mean, 14 receptions, 18 targets, and I'm pretty sure he has 3 or 4 drops on the season. So, I mean, if he's at 18 targets and caught 14 of the 18, that's not bad at all. So why not just line Hillard up in the slot, let Derrick Henry be in the backfield and do whatever? I mean, that's better than what we're trotting out there on third down anyways, because we're trotting Jeff Swaim and Cody Hollister and just the worst receivers every single time. But I do think we beat the Broncos. I think our defense is really, really, really good. And with how bad the Broncos offense has been this year, I think we lock them up. I don't think they score more than, I'm going to say we hold them to under 20, and I think we score probably 24 to 28 points. I do think it's going to be somewhat close within a score or two. But I'm going to say Titans win. I'm going to say 27. I'm going to say 27 to 17 Titans win. Somewhat close game, but Titans have a little bit of comfort and win. But yes, if we can in free agency, we definitely need to make a move for a receiver. I don't care who it is. T.Y. Hilton or Odell would be my top two. Obviously, Odell's kind of a long shot. But yeah, like I said, our defense has been great. Jeffrey Simmons has been great. Autry has been great. Weaver has been solid. Walker has been solid. A guy we just picked up a couple weeks ago, where is he? Mario Edwards. He has been really good. I feel like Dylan Cole's been solid, stepping in at linebacker when he's needed to. And then obviously, Long has been good. Kevin Byard is Kevin Byard. McCreary has been solid, a solid rookie. The last problem with the Titans I want to address is the offense. I honestly believe that we should cut Dennis Daly and just start Radens or Petit Frere at left tackle. I feel like Radens, no matter where we put him on the line would, and whoever we move to left tackle would be better without him. I'm pretty sure Dennis Daly is the worst rated tackle in the NFL. He's not been good at all. Like, he's been really, really bad. But yeah, left side is a big problem. I feel like the right side is okay. Petit Frere has been up and down, but I feel like he's been decent. Nate Davis is good. Ben Jones is fine. He's good. So it's just that left side with Brewer and Dennis Daly, and I really wish Lewan wasn't hurt. That sucks really bad because I feel like our offense would be quite a bit better if he were healthy. And then I also think getting rid of Saffold was a big mistake. Honestly, the Titans, though, have made some mistakes with who they keep and who they let go. I feel like we wouldn't be in this situation anyways had we kept, I feel like Conklin we should have kept. I feel like we should have kept Adoree Jackson because he's balling out in New York right now. I feel like we should have kept Corey Davis because he was always solid at moving the chains for us. Yes, I know he wasn't getting a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, but I mean, almost every single time he caught the ball, it was a first down at least. But I think Tannehill is actually having a really good season. Even though, obviously the stats don't look too crazy good for him, 182 yards a game, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but that's just the Titans way. Like, quarterbacks aren't going to kill the stat sheet in our system because of how much we run the ball. And, obviously we run the ball because we have Derrick Henry. Like, Derrick Henry is the best running back in the NFL. In the offseason, there's talks about who we're going to let go and keep. If I'm the Titans and if I'm able to, I'm restructuring Ryan Tannehill, keeping him for another season or two. Keeping Lewan, but I'm going to cut Bud Dupree and save us some money because he can't stay on the field, even though he does make a good impact. If he was healthy with us regularly, then I would not want him to go, but he just can't stay healthy. Zach Cunningham could probably go, depending on who we would get in free agency with, the emergence of David Long. If we could bring Jayon Brown back, I'd be down for that because I think he only signed a 1-year deal with the Raiders. But other than that, I'd probably say cut Robert Woods too. Honestly, this entire receiving core outside of Treylon Burks and Kyle Phillips, I think I'd want us to start fresh. And, I've seen some names that are out there in free agency. So there's some solid free agents. I posted a few tweets on the new Titans Outlet Twitter. It's Titans out. It's the @ is Titans Outlet. So make sure to follow that on Twitter if you're watching this, and then make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're gonna try to make a video once a week, and hopefully get some Titans fans on to discuss once we get known throughout the community a little bit more. But yeah, I'd cut Dupree and Woods. I'd let all the receivers go in free agency. Some of the free agents I would like for us to target is I would like for us to go a little out of the norm that we usually do. Like, we never usually go at just straight athleticism and speed and stuff like that. And the Titans offense, especially at receiver, definitely needs that. So I would go after Mecole Hardman and DJ Chark. And then if we're able to in the draft, I would draft Quentin Johnston from TCU or Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee, obviously. You see me wear the Vols hat, so go Vols. But I feel like Mecole and DJ Chark both. DJ Chark is tall. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He's really fast. I know he's had a little bit of injury issues, but if he stays healthy, he would be a good threat in the Titans offense. And then obviously Mecole Hardman is just straight speed, and he would help be able to take the top off. And I just feel like having two super fast receivers like that, along with Treylon Burks, who's physical, has an insane catch radius and stuff like that, I feel like our offense would thrive pretty well, especially with Henry in the backfield. Like, running play action with Tannehill or Malik Willis, like, the defenses bite so much. So if we have that speed to where they are worrying so much about Derrick Henry that they're having 8, 9 in the box every time, and we get somebody one-on-one with Mecole or Chark, whatever, like, that's a recipe for success, because they would be getting open so well. So if we could get them for decent value, when it comes to how much we'd have to pay them, if it's solid, like if we don't, as long as we don't have to break the bank, I would go after Mecole and DJ. And then obviously if we can draft either Quentin Johnston from TCU or Jalen Hyatt, that helps too. That's more speed. That's more, height, size, just good threats for our offense. And I mean, our receiver core would probably be looking like Burks, Phillips. So Burks, Phillips, DJ, Mecole, and then either Johnston or Hyatt. And that's a really good 5. That's depth, that's speed, that's physicality, route running. Like, we'd have everything. I like our tight end core. I think our receivers and O-line need to get better so they can actually shine. And I feel like we got to change up our scheme a little bit, get a new offensive coordinator, obviously. Like I said, I think I said earlier that I wouldn't mind Frank Reich being in Tennessee. But yeah, for the remainder of the season anyways. And if he does well, then he could stay, obviously. But I think anybody over Todd Downing is an improvement. But yeah, this is where we'll wrap up here. I'll post this to YouTube tonight. It is Wednesday, November 9th, and then hopefully I'll post another video right after the Titans game on Sunday or Monday. Appreciate everybody who's going to watch. Check in. Like I said, follow me on Twitter, Titans Outlet, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll start getting known throughout the community and making friends and stuff like that, and hopefully have some guests on and get this thing rolling and moving. But yeah, appreciate it. All you Titans fans, tighten up, and let's go out there and beat Denver this weekend. See y'all.